Welcome back to Engaging with Engage. This tutorial is focused on working with our Experience Editor and is the second video in the series. In this tutorial, we will create a simple exhibit with some 3D models and a play button, which, when pressed, will display a YouTube video. I will now pass over to David for the remainder of this video.
Hi, so today in the editor we're going to build a small interactive exhibit. The elements we're going to use are a 3D model, an image, some text that we input ourselves, and then an interactive button that will play a video for the individual user. So let's get started. First of all, I want a nice display table, so I'm clicking on my IFX. I'm going to search for display table, and that'll do perfectly. Here we are. Now I want everything to line up nicely, so I'm going to select my gizmo. I'm going to reset the rotation. I'm going to go onto rotation and then go reset. And so that's now nicely lined up with the world. Perfect. I also want it to snap down to the ground. So I'll do translate and then use the down button to snap it onto the ground. Very nice. Okay, next I've already prepared a 3D model of a telephone, so our exhibit is going to be about the invention of the telephone. So I have some information. I have in my cloud files, which I've uploaded a GLB of a vintage telephone. And here we go. That's nice, but I think I should make it a little bit larger. So I'm going to scale it up. There we go, a bit larger than life, but good for educational purposes. Now let's have a look. We have some information. So I have a URL for a YouTube video that I want to play, and then I have a little bit of a text label that I want to put on the exhibit. So let's copy the text here. So we have some IFX in Engage that allow you to input text. Let's type text input. And here we go. So this is the one I'm going to use, the text panel auto fit resize. So this will actually resize itself to the text that we type in. Now if I just typed in, it would just appear, and when I press save it resizes, it would just appear in a simple straight line. So because of the limited size of the interface, we're not able to format text here. But what you can do is you can format text in your text editor, and then you can copy it in here, and you can see that it's kept the formatting from the text editor. So when I go save, we have a nice little label. Okay, that's good. I'm going to adjust the sensitivity and the positioning there, bring it down. Okay, I'm pretty happy with that. There's our informational statement. Then I have an image that I have in my cloud files. So let's go back up and I'll look at my images folder. We have a phone image. And there we go, there's the man himself holding his invention. And then finally, I want to add in a video, a button, an interactive button, and that's in our trigger section. So we just click on trigger. And then if we skip a few pages across, there's a nice one. I like this one, the white button. Let's click on this. Now what the trigger button lets us do is to trigger an event. And it allows us to write text that we want to on the button. So that you can see the button is green. The trigger button is green. I'm going to extend it out there. In fact, I'm going to extend all of the objects out because we want them to stay in the scene for the whole duration. And then on my button, I'm going to change the text to play video. And you can select those options either by clicking on the cog or by selecting the object and going IFX options. Either of them will work. And then inside the options, this is what will happen when the user presses the button. Now, I want to play a video, but I don't want to play it for everybody in the room. I want it to only play for the person who's pressed the button, because it might be kind of disrupting or annoying. And we might want to have several of these exhibits so that if we make it play for everyone, it would be a little bit disruptive. So instead, we can click on Trigger For and just the local user. So only the person who is interested in the video about the telephone will actually get the video. So how do we show a video? Well, this is what happens when we trigger the button. So we just go plus to add a new event. And I'm going to choose an IFX. And the IFX I'm going to choose is a URL video screen. URL video screen. And this will, the flat one, a nice simple flat one will do. I'm going to position that here. Now, you can see once I placed it down, it disappeared, but that's okay. You can still edit it. If you just click on the cog again, you can see here there's another cog, and that allows us to edit the action that appears. So it's a bit too big, so I want it to be smaller. I'm going to scale it right down. I'll change my sensitivity to make it a bit quicker. And fine tune it there. I think that's a good size. So look, we're going to make it kind of appear that it's the image is turned into that. So let me reposition. I'll try and line it up with the image a bit better. There we go. So it's roughly appearing in front of that. And then our URL for the video, we can take this from here. Copy and paste it in here. There's some other controls as well, so we can, for example, lower the volume and make it 2D or 3D.
The bird
and we could even
was perched
clip
upon a
part of the
pole.
video off the start.
The bird.
So there we go. So we have a button now that will play the video. Now, the button obviously is a bit too large, so let's scale that down. Okay, I'll up my sensitivity so it'll be faster. There we go. Alright, so now of course you could take some more time and arrange the objects so it looks a bit nicer. But here we have, I'm going to save our experience. I'm going to call it telephone. Save that. And let's give it a play. Okay, so here we are. We go up, we read the information, and we go, I want to see the video. And lovely, it streams
The bird was perched
the history
upon
of the telephone.
a pole.
So it's as simple as that, really. So you can very quickly put together some nice interactive exhibits that you can use in your education. Thank you very much. See you now.
We hope you enjoyed this short Experience Editor tutorial. Please visit our website to view other tutorials in this series.